Today we check out the DC rulebook. Hey everyone, it's Andrew and Zach here from Canhammer, and today we're going to be doing something a little different, not our usual Batman content, but I guess related, and that is checking out the new DC Universe rulebook.
So this rulebook's a bit more of a streamlining of the rules more than an update. They tweak a couple little things, but the core game is still basically the same. I think the biggest thing that people were looking for with this one was an update and clarification on the throwing mechanics, which it gets, and as well, it also shows a ton of new models.
Yeah, and this is also the first time that the rulebook is in sort of like nice print. I think way when the game first came out, they had like a pamphlet, and then after that it was only a PDF. So this is the first time we're seeing it in like nice fucking hardcover. It's got like a nice matte finish, and then like the central picture. I don't think the lights will pick it up, but it's like kind of glossy.
Yeah.
So it is like a pretty sick looking book.
And this is the Hero Edition, because they do have the same thing, but in red with villains on the cover, if you wanted that special Lex model, but...
Right. Was that a limited one, or...?
I don't think they're limited. I think the models that come with them are limited.
Okay.
But both are available for purchase.
Right on. So yeah, this is the Hero version. We're not gonna like go through every single page and show you all the rules. We are planning to do like a bat rep or two, just so people can see the mechanics in play, but just like to give like a general, I guess, idea of like how the book looks. I don't want to like crack Zach's spine here, so I'm gonna try to be nice about it, but like has a lot of artwork. The rules are all laid out similar to like the Batman book in typical Night Models fashion.
A lot of nice scenery.
Yeah, which is weird because like a lot of this looks like MDF cut, so I'm always like wondering if they're just gonna plan to release like a lot of this stuff anytime soon.
I would kill for some of the terrain in this book. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Like a Daily Planet? Oh man.
Yeah, well even like in the old Batman book they have like the GCPD.
Mm-hmm.
And they did release, like this.
Yeah, the giant Hall of Justice. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So that's really cool. And they did release Arkham Asylum, so it's like, I'm sure they could if they wanted to. Again, they got rights to all like the comic book art, so there's a lot of that in here too. And the rules, give like the typical explanation photos of like what everything is.
Just from a cursory glance looking through it, I find a lot of the pictures are really helpful for understanding the rules, because while this game is supposed to be like a beer and pretzels kind of game, some of the stuff gets a bit complex when it's like, okay, roll your dice, now add your strength, now subtract their defense, and then the modifiers, and then they can change stances, which changes their modifiers, and it is a lot of bookkeeping when you don't know what you're doing, but I definitely think it clears up a lot of the issues that I know a lot of people had surrounding it initially. And like, look at that Joker and the Cheetah, like...
Yeah, so there are new models in the book that... I think Joker got released, right?
Yeah, Joker and Cheetah are now in that box that's coming.
Okay, when this book came out, they weren't actually released yet, so everyone's like, ooh, shiny new stuff.
Yeah.
And I think there is some stuff in here that hasn't been released.
Stuff like Brainiac, they mentioned him in some of the scenarios.
Okay, cool. So, it looks like after a long drought of DCU releases, it looks like Night Models is back to pushing this game. I know it's been, I think, one more release cycle since this came out.
Yeah. Because this came out August-y around?
Yeah, so they have started putting it, they released like a whole new set of like
The Mr. Miracle right there.
bat boxes. Yeah, so there's a new model there.
Yeah, I actually picked up the Apocalypse bat box that comes with Big Barda.
Okay, cool.
I was specifically waiting for that because I saw this Mr. Miracle and I knew I needed to get a Big Barda so I could make them both because...
Who's that red guy in the middle?
The red guy in the middle, that's Mr. Miracle.
Who's? Oh yeah, Dr. Fate's the other guy.
Yeah.
Was he already out?
Yep.
Okay.
I have him already.
Right on. Yeah, Zach's been painting up like all the DC miniatures, so
I have most of the range at this point.
I'll be using his stuff for the foreseeable future. Just because I do have other projects on the go.
Stuff that's coming to the channel, perhaps.
Yeah, I feel like free blades. Yeah, so basically, you know,
That was another one of the really big things right there is the special rules giving like a very clear, concise compendium for all this stuff. Because a lot of it was only touched on in the PDF, where the book kind of really goes in depth more.
Well, that's good. So it gives better explanations, I assume.
Exactly, yeah.
Right on.
And that was one of the biggest things for me too, was looking at these cards and there's no rules written down on the back of them. It's
right. It's not like the Batman one.
Yeah, so you have to have this. For me, I have to have this handy to really like figure out what I'm doing.
For now, like once you get more games in, it'll become
yeah.
second nature. But for sure, and again, this is very much just like their other rule books and even other game rule books, where like everything you need's out of the book. There's no supplemental stuff yet, although knowing night models, there might be things like that. But you got all your scenarios, how to set up.
So this is when it starts getting into the special scenarios here, scenario 7 onwards. So that first one is Superman versus Doomsday.
Okay,
where you need
cool.
those two models, and they basically duke it out like gladiator style in the middle for 3 turns.
Right on.
Here's the Brainiac one. So Brainiac's not out yet, but the scenario specifically mentions him and it's revolving around him, so kind of necessary.
So for some of these, you might need to proxy.
Yeah, exactly. For now, at least.
Although, like even let's go back, the Superman versus Doomsday one. I'm sure you could like supplement another big fighter, right?
It's the regeneration.
Okay.
Because Superman and Doomsday, it's like a lot of the scenario victory points are centered around scoring hits on the other.
Oh, I see.
So your Superman
Okay.
landing hits on Doomsday gives you points, vice versa, and they can't attack anyone and they can't be targeted for like 3 turns.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well.
if anyone can last that long, like say Darkseid, probably, but
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I meant. Like anyone sort of like equal or higher points value, you might be able to supplement it.
yeah.
Although that would take maybe some just changing of the rules yourself, but you can always. I mean, you can play however you want, right?
No, exactly. I think that's one of the big things with this game is it presents you with a lot of scenarios, and they really give you like a depth of big models to play with, and it's once you understand the base rules, it's very easy. So it's very simple. Pick it up, grab a beer, play with your friends, like.
And you can recreate all those cool scenes from the comics and movies now.
Exactly. Yeah.
This looks like more. This is more like.
This is them touching on every different aspect of the universe, like Green Lantern and the Green Lantern Corps,
Right,
Flash
so
and the Speedsters.
So this is like the fluff section.
Yeah, this is your fluff, talking with the characters.
That's cool. So anyone who isn't, I guess, super into DC, like for me, I know a lot of Batman lore, but a lot of this stuff I don't. Like I don't even know who the fuck that guy is.
Firestorm.
All right.
He's 2 people in 1.
Shazam, I know him because he just had a movie.
Supergirl.
I know who she is, but I don't know like any of her backstory or anything. Zatanna I kind of know because she's in Batman a lot. But yeah, like a lot of this stuff I wouldn't know, so it'd be actually beneficial for me to like read this section, just to get an understanding of who these characters are.
I definitely hope that some of these fluff pieces are not just that, and they're previews for characters to come, because a lot of the people they mention in this I would really like to see in either Batman or this game.
Right.
Like they touch on a lot of the other Titans that we haven't seen yet. They mention other Lanterns and the Green Lantern Corps, and just a lot of really cool, deep cut DC stuff that I would really like. So.
Who the fuck's that? Oh, man.
Zod.
No,
That's Zod. That's Michael Shannon's Zod from Man of Steel.
Oh, well, I just read this. It said Vandal Savage, so that's what it's.
No, that's another one I want him too. So.
I thought he was rumored to come out like a long time ago.
I hope so.
Oh, fucking Red Hood fighting.
Deathstroke.
That's cool.
There's a lot of really nice art in this book. So here's the showcase. This is what a lot of people were really antsy for because seeing all these new models.
Right, so on this page, nobody.
Yeah, just the Aquaman at the time was announced at the same time as the book, so that wasn't special.
Let's see if I can get a close-up of that guy. Without turning off the camera. So yeah, that was one of the new dudes. Aquamoa is what I guess the internet's decided to dub it. So he's pretty cool, I guess. I kind of like the old Aquaman though myself. Is anyone on this page?
Big Barda. She was announced at the same time as well.
Okay, let's see if we can get a shot of her.
You'll see her on the channel soon enough. I've got her and I'm already working on her. So
That's Big Barda. Don't even know who she is.
She was one of the Furies of Apocalypse, and she's also the wife of Mr. Miracle.
Don't even know what that means. This one looks like it's all old Batman models. So if you're into Batman, it's cool because you'll be able to play them in this. Did they release the cards for the old stuff? Do you know?
What do you mean by old stuff?
Well, let's see. On this page, I guess it wouldn't count. But like, okay, before I switch back, there's Mira. That's a new one that I don't even think has been released yet.
No, yeah, Mira's out.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. Well, like this guy he wasn't released. Well, any of these two at least weren't released as DC releases.
Mm-hmm.
Is there cards available? Like, if someone already owns a model, would they be able to get the card?
Unfortunately, not at the moment.
Okay.
We're still waiting on people to post. They'll start posting those online. They're a lot less forthcoming with DC cards, unfortunately.
Weird. Okay.
I've been able to find stuff, but not for the newest releases, so I'm still trying to pick through those pieces.
Fair enough. Nothing here. It's all Batman stuff. Can you run the Dark Knight's Metal as one crew?
Yep, you can run them as a group. They also have a team card that specifically detracts from your opponent's ability to pull off some stuff mid-game.
Wicked.
They're really, really solid.
Is he new? No,
Nope.
I've seen him before.
I have him.
Yeah.
Cheetah's the next newest one here. And
Well,
the Joker's one.
fuck that. The Joker. First
Oh,
of
no,
all,
bias.
look at this sweet ass fucking Joker. So that's a new model. He's released now, so but only for DC. And then Cheetah. I don't even know who she is, but
Wonder Woman villain.
okay. Cool.
One of the bigger ones.
Oh, right on. Okay.
She's actually going to be in the new movie, Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, cool. Better than that like weird half-faced chick.
Yeah. Dr. Boyson, she's an interesting villain in the comics, but they didn't do much with her in the movie.
That's too bad. This page.
Deathstroke.
Oh yeah, look at that.
He's probably my most anticipated new model. We already have a Deathstroke, but I'd like...
This one's more dynamic, looks nicer.
And
I do like the
hopefully better
Arkham one
priced.
though. Yeah, but that depends how he's released.
Yeah.
It seems like Night Models has moved a lot away from like just single model releases, and they're more into sort of like the bundle packs.
Which makes sense from a business standpoint. Less blisters and more boxes, and...
Yeah, well that's sort of the problem with like Batman, like the old metal stuff. They just had like a million friggin' blisters, and now they just have like single ones you can get.
Yeah.
Which, you know, fair enough.
So the Cyborg and the Starfire are not new, but they're confirmations that we'll get them again, because currently they're only available in metal.
Right, and they don't release the metal stuff anymore. So for the longest time, these guys have been like out of print, but the fact that they're back in the game, or at least in picture form, probably says that they're coming again.
And then we've also got Mr. Miracle and Kid Flash on the bottom. Those are two other new
Kid
models.
Flash, move him in. Yes, that's cool.
A Rebirth Wally, which is really nice.
Yeah, and then Mr. Miracle.
So excited for
I
him.
don't know who that guy is. Who cares? He's not a real person.
And that's it.
Yeah, and then you got advertisement page. Play some Batman. Play some Harry Potter. And then that's basically it for the whole book. Oh, there goes the spine. Sorry, Zach.
That's fine.
So yeah, pretty solid. I don't know. Do you have any more thoughts on it?
It's definitely a good resource to have, especially if you're new to the game. The PDF, while free, is not the most detailed or the most clear.
Right.
Where I find this is a better resource. Plus, you get a cool mini with it, depending on which one you buy. I'm personally really excited for that mullet Superman that I got. So.
Yeah, and I'm like I'm an old school guy. I don't like using digital stuff if I can. So I think I'll probably pick this book up if we do start playing, just because I like having like a physical resource.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a really beautiful book. So even just having it like on the shelf or flipping through it from time to time to check out the pictures, I think there's value there as well. I guess with that, thanks for watching our quick review of the DC book, and we'll see you in the next video.